Hi, this is Priyankesh. I hope you all are doing great. Welcome to the mock test solution session. I hope you have attempted the mock test. If not, please attempt it. Then move further in this video. So let's get started. Let's quickly have a look what was available to us in this mock test. So there were two sections. First section was comprehension and second section was basic mathematics. Okay. In comprehension we have 5 questions and in basic mathematics we have 12 questions. Total composite time for this mock test was 20 minutes. Now let's look at the section 1. When you move to section 1, this window will appear. Let's look at this window here on the top. You will see that in IGADR PhD mock, when you click on this group, you'll see the stats of the overall paper. This is comprehension section 1 and this is basics mathematics section 2. This is your question window, and here you can see that this is the calculator, and here it will appear the time. You can see that this question paper, when you click on this, so you will see this kind of a window. You can see a whole paper in one go. Okay, now here you can see the instruction. This is the current section details. Okay, and here in this palette you can see the number of question. This is basically marked for review and next. This is for clearing the response, and this button is for saving and next, and at the end you have submit button. Okay, so now let's move to the question. Okay, so it is from comprehension. Okay, so there were 3 questions from comprehension. Let's look at the question first. It says, which of the following would be the most appropriate title of the passage? First one is features of the earth's surface, marine topography, the causes of earthquake, prime geologic consideration, how to prevent erosion. Okay, so this is talking about basically earth, and it is marine and somewhere about earthquakes also. Okay, now let's look at the second question. So second question says, according to the passage, the peripheral furrows or the deeps are found only in the Pacific Ocean and Indian Ocean. So near earthquake, near the shore, in the center of the ocean, to be the 14,000 feet in the depth of in the Pacific. Okay, so this is basically talking about peripheral furrows or the deep. Okay, now let's look at the third question. So third question says, from this passage it can be inferred that earthquake. So basically it is talking about earthquake. Now let's read the passage. Okay, so passage is of the 197 million square miles making up the surface of the globe, 70% is covered by the interconnecting bodies of the marine water. The Pacific Ocean alone covers the half of the earth, and the averages nearly 14,000 feet in the depth. The continents Eurasia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Antarctica are the portions of the continental masses rising above the sea level. The submerged borders of the continental masses are the continental shelves, beyond which in the deep sea basins, the deep ocean attains their greatest depth, not in the central part but in the certain elongated furrows or the long narrow troughs called deeps. The profound troughs have peripheral arrangement, notably around the borders of the Pacific and Indian Ocean. The position of the deep near the continental masses suggests that the deep, like the highest mountain, are the of recent origin, strengthened by the fact the deeps are frequently sites of world-shaking earthquakes. For example, the tidal wave that in April 1946 caused widespread destruction along the Pacific coast resulted from the strong earthquake on the floor of Altoona Deep. Okay, so first question is talking about the appropriate title of the passage. So initially the passage has talked about the earth, different partners of earth in different continent, and in later part it talks about the marine life. Okay, so the features of earth's surface, marine topography, causes of earthquake, it is talking about only in the end, so this cannot be the answer. Primary geologic consideration, no. How to prevent erosion, no, it is not talking. These two options can be can comes in your mind. Okay, but here marine topography, it is also a part of earth's surface. Okay, so we'll not consider this as a title. I think this should be the most appropriate title, that is the features of Earth's surface. Now let's move to the next question. Next question is, according to the passage, peripheral flows or the deeps are found in. So if you read the passage here, the oceans attain their greatest depth not there in the central part, but in the elongated flows or the long narrow troghs called deeps. The profound troghs have a peripheral arrangement, notably around the borders of the Pacific and Indian Ocean. So border of ocean is called shore. Okay, so here only in the Pacific and Indian Ocean? No. Near earthquakes? No. Near the shore. So this will be the right option. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. So here in this, it says from this passage, it can be inferred that earthquake occurs only in peripheral flows, occurs more frequently in newly formed land or the sea formation, are the prime cause of soil erosion, will ultimately make mountain level by caused by weight of water. Okay, so let's look at the passage. So here the portion of deep flows near the continental masses suggests that deeps, like the highest mountain, are of recent origin. This line is very important. Are of recent origin. It is talking about deeps which are of recent origin, since otherwise they would have been filled with with waste from the lands. This suggestion is strengthened by the fact that the deep are frequently the sites of world-shaking earthquake. So that means the newly formed deeps are the cause of earthquakes. Okay, so here our option will be occurs more frequently in the newly formed land or the sea formation. This will be our option. Okay, so now let's move to the next question. So here it is a question from fill in the blanks. Okay, so question is, though he claimed the business was blank, his irritably blank the claim. So let's look at the option blank one options. So first one is sound, which means going good, expanding means increasing, downsizing, decreasing, static means stagnant, booming means growing. And look at the second blank options. So belied means failed to justified. Second is supported, that means justifies, vindicated also justifies. Contradict means opposing, affirm means also supporting. So here the first option and second option has to be contradictory in nature, because here it is saying though he claimed the business was, suppose it is going good, and if I say his irritably failed to justify the claim, so this is the most appropriated option in this case. Okay, so option A is the right answer. Now let's move to the next question. In this question it says that select the pair that best expresses the relationship similar to one in the original pair. So basically this is a question from analogy. So you know that who is moderator? So moderator is a person who moderate the debate. Okay, so basically you can say he is who is giving the direction to the debate. Okay, so here look at the first words. So first words are legislator. The legislator, it is basically a person who makes law or a member of some legislative body. So here it has no connection with the election, because he is not into the election, because moderator is always present into the debate. Okay, now talking about chef. So chef is basically a professional cook. So he is present in banquet, but he is not leading the banquet. Okay, but next is auditor. Auditor is person who conduct audits. It has no connection with the lecture, so this is also not going. Next is conspirator, person who takes part in conspiracy. So conspirator is a person who can also design the plot, or he is taking part in the conspiracy. But this is also not sounding very appropriate with the given analogy. But the next one is the empire, an official who watches a game or a match closely to enforce the rule and arbitrate on the matters arising from the play. So this is going with the given analogy, because moderator who is leading the debate, and umpire who is leading the game as per the rules. Okay, so this will be the appropriate answer, that is umpire and game. Okay, when you move to section 2, so this window will appear. Okay, so as I have mentioned in the section 1, when you click on this group, so this kind of a window will appear, in which you can see that overall papers stats, that is how many questions you have answered, how many have not answered, how many questions you have visited, how many you have marked for review, and answered and marked for review. Remember this thing, if you have answered and marked for review, it will be considered for evaluation. Okay, so this will be your question window, and you can see that when you click on this calculator, so this kind of a calculator, normal calculator, will appear to you. For simple calculation you can use it. Here this will show the section question details. Okay, how many questions you have visited, answered, not answered, marked for review, and answered or marked for review. And this is your question palette, and same as the buttons. Okay, so basically this is your section 2 window. Now let's move to the questions. Okay, so first question is saying that for each set, this subset A is a subset of 2 to the power A. So first we need to understand for any given set A. Okay, so let's take it has number of elements A. Okay, so number of possible subsets for this set will be 2 to the power A, out of which this A will also be one subset. So this one subset is a part of this 2 to the power A subset, or we can say that this is a subset of this 2 to the power A. So option A is the right option. Okay, now let's move to the next question. So here we have to find this integral. So by Euler rule, you know this thing, this x into e to the power x, algebraic function will become first, and this will become exponential. Now apply the integration by parts. So this will be x into integration of e to the power x is e to the power x minus, this will be d dx of first, the differentiation of x is 1, and integration of e to the power x is e to the power x dx plus c. So this will become x into e to the power x minus e to the power x plus c. So when you take e to the power x as common, so this will become x minus 1 plus c. So if we go by choices, so this is e to the power x, x minus 1. So this will be our option. Now let's move to the next question. So here we have to find the limit. So if you put the limit x equals to 0, so you can see that this limit x tending to 0, e to the power minus x minus 1 upon x, this is of 0 by 0 form, which is indeterminate. So applying L'Hopital rule, you will differentiate the numerator part, so it will come out to e to the power x, and denominator it will get, we will get 1. So limit x tending to 0, this value will come out to e to the power 0, which is 1. So option 2 is the right option. Now let's move to the next question. So here it says given fx 2x cube minus 3x square minus 36x minus 10, the function attains, basically we have to check maxima or minima. So to check maxima or minima, we have to first find the first derivative. So f dash x will come out to be 6x square minus 6x minus 36, and now equate it equals to 0. So when you equate it equals to 0, we can take 6 as common and put it to the right side. So this will come out to be x square minus x minus 6 equals to 0. So when you solve it further, so this will be x minus 3, and this will be x plus 2 equals to 0. So from here you will get plus 3 and minus 2. So now find out the second derivative. So second derivative will come out to be 12x minus 6. Now check this double derivative at 3. So this will be 12 into 3 minus 6, that is 30, which is greater than 0. So this will be minima. And now check f double dash at minus 2. So this will be minus 12 into 2 minus 6. So this is minus 30, which is less than 0. So this will be maxima. Okay. So let's look at the option. So function is having maximum at minus 2. So minus 2 it is showing minimum. So this is not correct. And then it is saying that minimum at 3. So it has to be minimum at 3, but it is saying maximum. So this is also not correct. So option 5, that is other than the given option. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. It says for what value of k the system of equation, it does not have any solution. So at system it does not have any solution. So when you write the given system of equation in this form, so this matrix, that is the coefficient matrix, determinant has to be 0 in order to get no solution. So let's write this determinant. So this will be 1 1 0. This will be k 2 3 2 1 k. Now equate equals to 0. If I expand it with respect to row 1, So this will be 1, this will be 2k minus 3 minus 1, and this will come out to be k square minus 2 3 is 6 equals to 0, because third element is 0, so this will be 0 ultimately. Now when you solve it further, this is 2k minus 3 minus k square plus 6 equals to 0. Now take minus common, so this will become k square minus 2k, and this will become minus 3 plus k will be plus 3, and we have taken minus common, so this will be minus 3 equals to 0. So when you solve it further, it will come out to be k minus 3, and this will be k plus 1 equals to 0. So from here we will get k equals to 3 and minus 1. So option 3 is the right option. Now let's move to the next question. So it says the mean wage and standard deviation of 150 men is rupees 60 and rupees 4 per week respectively, and that of another 200 men it is rupees 90 and 3 rupees per week. The standard deviation of the force of 350 men considered as one group will be. So let's put it into the tabular form. So here we have mean wage, okay, and here is standard deviation. This is let's say n1, which is 150 men, okay, and let's say this is n2, which is 200 men, okay. So here mean wage in this case was 60 and standard deviation was rupees 4, and here in this case mean wage was rupees 90, and here this will be 3. So to find out the standard deviation of the combined group, okay, so this will be, for that we have to first find the combined mean. So combined mean in this case will be let's say this is x1 bar and this is x2 bar, okay, and this is, let's say, sigma 1 and this is sigma 2. X bar will come out to be n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar whole divided by this will be n1 plus n2. So when you put the value, so this will be 150 into 60 plus 90 into 200 whole divided by this will be n1 plus n2 is 350. So when you solve it further, so this will be 27,000 divided by 350. So finally this will come out to be 77.14. Okay, so for easy calculation we take this as 77. Now let's find out the combined standard deviation. So for that we have to first find the deviation. So in this case deviation 1 will be x1 bar minus capital X bar. So x1 bar was 60 minus 77, so this will comes out to be minus 70. Now let's find the second deviation. So this will be x2 bar minus capital X bar, so this will be 90 minus 77, so this will be 13. Now formula for combined standard deviation, let's say sigma 1 2, so this is under root, this value is n1 sigma 1 square plus n2 sigma 2 square plus n1 d1 square plus n2 d2 square whole divided by this is n1 plus n2, okay. So when you solve it by putting all the values, n1 is 150 and sigma 1 is 4, so square will be 16, and n2 is 200 and then sigma 2 is 3, so square will be 9, n1 is 150 and d1 square will be minus 17 whole square plus this will be 200 into d2 whole square is 13 whole square divided by this will be 350. So when you solve this, so this will comes out to be under root 232.428. Further solving will give you 15.24. okay, so now let's look at the options. So by choice you can see that this is the closest value, that is 15.5, so this will be our option. In question number 7 it says given the expression that is x plus x square upon 2 plus x cube upon 3 to infinity is, okay, so basically we have to find the equal of this expression, okay. So we know that log 1 plus x equals to, this equals to x minus x square upon 2 plus x cube upon 3 minus x power 4 upon 4 and so on. Okay, now if I replace x by minus x, so we will get minus x square by 2 minus x cube by 3 minus x power 4 by 4 and so on. Okay, now if I take minus common from the left hand side, so we will get x plus x square by 2 plus x cube by 3 plus x power 4 by 4 and so on. Okay, so I can shift this minus to the uh, left side. Okay, so we will get minus log 1 minus x. Okay, here this was log 1 minus x. Okay, and this is our required result, so consider this as expression p. Okay, so from here we will get p equals to log 1 minus x to the power minus 1, so this will come out to be log 1 upon 1 minus x. So option, this is the right option. Okay, now let's move to the next question. In this question, it is basically asking the slope of this particular function. Okay, so for finding the slope, I have always told you find the first derivative. So first derivative will be f dash x, and here differentiation of root x is 1 upon 2 root x, and differentiation of log x is 1 upon x and into 1 upon 3. So final answer will be 5 upon 2 root x minus 1 upon 3x. So if I go by choices, so option this, it will be the right option. Okay, now let's move to the next question. So here we have this given expression, and this is basically a partial fraction. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to find this value a and value b. Okay, so for that, if I take the LCM, so we will get 5x plus 2 equals to a in a bracket 1 plus 2x plus b in a bracket 1 plus 3x. Okay, now if I compare the coefficients, so a plus b, we will get a plus b equals to 2, and next we will get 2a plus 3b equals to 5. Now multiply this equation, let's say this is 1 and this is 2, multiply equation by equation 1 by 2 and then subtract it. Okay, so we will get 2a plus 3b equals to 5, and from here we will get 2a plus 2b equals to 4. So minus minus minus, this will get cancelled out, b will come out to be 1, and from the equation 1, from 1 you will get a equals to 1. Okay, so a and b are equal, so you can see that clearly there is no option present, so last will be the option that is other than those given option. Okay, now let's move to the next question. We have to solve this determinant. Okay, so for that I'm going to transform row 2 and row 3. So row 2 is transforming row 2 minus row 1. Similarly, R3 is transforming to R3 minus R1. So the given determinant will become 1 1 1. Here it is 0. This will be a, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be b. Now expand it with respect to column 1. Okay, so you will get only the first element, so this will be 1 a into b minus 0, rest of the element will be 0. Okay, so this will be finally ab. So this is your answer, so this will be the correct option. Now let's move to the next question. It says the mean of the binomial distribution is 12 and the standard deviation is 3. We have to find the probability of success, that is p. So we know that mean equals to np, and this value is 12. Okay, and standard deviation is under root npq, which is given as 3. So let's say this is equation 1, this is equation 2. So npq we will get 9 divided by np, and here it divided by 12. So when you eliminate this, so q will come out to be 3 3s are 9, 3 4s are 12. So this is 3 by 4. So p equals to 1 minus q, that is 1 minus 3 by 4. So this is 1 by 4. So option second. Okay, this will be the right option. Let's move to the next question. In this question, it says a candidate is selected for interview for 3 posts. Okay, for the first post there are 3 candidates. Okay, for the second there are 4 candidates, and for the third there are 2 candidates. Okay, the chances of him getting at least one post is, okay, so you can see that for post 1 there are 3 candidates, for post 2 there are 4 candidates, for post 3 there are 2 candidates. Okay, so here if I want to write the probabilities of getting post 1, so probability of getting post 1 will be 1 by 3, and probability of getting post 2 for a candidate will be 1 by 4, and probability of getting post 3 will be 1 by 2. Now question says find out the chances of getting him at least one post. So at least one, if I find the complementary event of this particular event, so that will be this will be required probability will be required probability is chances of getting at least one post, so its complementary event will be uh, getting no post. Okay, so that event's complementary event will be 1 minus probability of getting no post. Okay, so this will be probability of getting no post. Okay, so this will be 1 minus, so that means this all the complementary event of these probabilities will be multiplied here, because this will be 2 by 3 multiplied by this will be 3 by 4 multiplied by 1 by 2. So when you solve this, 2 and 2 gets eliminated, 3 and 3 gets eliminated. Here you will get 1 minus 1 by 4, that is 3 by 4, so you will get 0.75. So option 1 is your answer. Okay, so that's all from my side in this video. If you like this, please share it with your friend. Also subscribe to our channel for all the latest updates. And very soon we'll be releasing our test series, so you can join it with a very nominal price. Okay, so thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay healthy.